Today is November the 3rd. What is the Valley of Decision? Let's find out together as we study the first half of Joel chapter 3. Now in Joel chapter 3, Joel moves on to the end times. He starts by saying, at the time of those events, says the Lord, when I restore the prosperity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. There I'll judge them for harming my people, my special possession, for scattering my people among the nations, and for dividing up my land. The valley of Jehoshaphat. This occurs again in verses 11 and 12. Come quickly, all you nations everywhere. Gather together in the valley. O Lord, now call out your warriors. Let the nations be called to arms. Let them march to the valley of Jehoshaphat. There I, the Lord, will sit to pronounce judgment on them all. Then in this section, the last time we see the valley, it's in verse 14, a famous passage repeated in the New Testament. Thousands upon thousands are waiting in the valley of decision. There the day of the Lord will soon arrive. The valley of Jehoshaphat is mentioned twice, and then it becomes the valley of decision. What's going on here? You know, when we hear that verse today, typically we apply it to evangelism. We must decide if we want to follow the Lord. That is not what Joel is talking about. The valley of Jehoshaphat, mentioned twice, relies on the name Jehoshaphat. The name Jehoshaphat means Jehovah judges. If you look in verse 2, I'll gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and there I'll judge them. In verse 12, let them march to the valley of Jehoshaphat. There I, the Lord, will sit to pronounce judgment on them all. So what is the valley of decision? The valley of decision is not the decision of the people who sit awaiting judgment. It's the decision of the judge. It's the verdict. In fact, in other places, this very word is translated verdict. This is what the judge decides. Thousands upon thousands are waiting to hear the judge's verdict. There, the day of the Lord will soon arrive. The sun and the moon will grow dark, and the stars will no longer shine. The Lord's voice will roar from Zion and thunder from Jerusalem. The heavens and the earth will shake. It sounds like the verdict is not going to be a pleasant one for the thousands upon thousands who are waiting in the valley. But at the end of verse 16, but the Lord will be a refuge for his people, a strong fortress for the people of Israel. Yeah, at the end of days, in the valley of verdict, God will judge, but he will fortify, he will rescue, he will be a refuge for his people. Spend time today thanking God that he has your back. Please like, follow, and subscribe to this devotional on whatever platform you used to listen to it. Email your questions to us at questions@becomehope.com. Tomorrow, we'll address the question, what happens at the end?